6 foods for which there is scientific evidence of improved erections. And the last one will surprise you. It's both unexpected and the most effective. Hello everyone and welcome to AI Health Talk 360, your health channel, where you'll find health topics of all kinds. Remember this phrase: when you have problems, especially sexual problems, and you've been trying to improve the situation for a few months without success, you don't stay alone. You consult or teleconsult. What can you eat to improve your erection naturally? That's what I'm going to tell you today, and I'm going to introduce you to 6 simple foods. I'll tell you what foods to avoid, what not to do, and so on. I'll also be making videos on everything you're not told about erectile dysfunction. Erectile dysfunction is more than just swelling. There are other symptoms too. I'll be offering several videos on diet to show you which types of food can be harmful to your sexual health. Today, I'm going to talk about what you can eat to improve erectile dysfunction. The first food I'm going to tell you about is pomegranate. Indeed, studies have shown that people who consume pomegranate on a daily basis experience an improvement in erectile dysfunction. However, this was a study of mild erectile dysfunction. According to the study, 1 man in 2 improved his erectile dysfunction. That's quite a lot. With small amounts of pomegranate, there is very likely to be an improvement in erectile function if consumed regularly. Not to the point of curing half the people, otherwise we'd have stopped prescribing treatments long ago. But it does help to improve the situation, whether in the case of minor difficulties or as a complement to drug treatment. Second food, watermelon. Studies have shown that daily consumption of watermelon improves erectile function and libido. In particular, it increases sexual desire. Unfortunately, this study does not tell us how much to consume, as the quantities used were very large. Nor does it specify whether there is a risk of metabolic disorders, as watermelon is very high in sugar. To this end, I've made a video in which I tell you what foods to avoid when you have diabetes, fruits that are very sweet and low in fiber. You can watch this video on the right of your screen or in the description, in case you're interested. In fact, these are the same foods you should avoid if you want to avoid gaining weight. To conclude this story on watermelon, remember that it's good, it improves erections, but regular daily consumption could pose a metabolic problem with excess sugar in the blood. Not to mention that you urinate a lot, which isn't very practical. The third food is pistache. Studies have shown that daily consumption of pistachios will improve erectile function. This study provides objective proof, but you need to eat a large handful of pistachios a day, every day, on a continuous basis. Unfortunately, there is a risk of excess fat, triglycerides, and cholesterol, especially if you are predisposed to them. As a result, you run the risk of losing the benefits you've gained. In fact, excessive fat consumption can, in the long term, lead to a reduction in erectile capacity. What's interesting about pistachios is that consuming them at the end of the day, in the afternoon, at midday, or in the evening, seems to improve nocturnal and morning erections, which play a role in mechanical repair. If you'd like to know more about these erections, please let us know in the comments. We'll make a video about it. However, pistachios are not the most effective, recommended, or surprising food. The answer is at the end of the video. The fourth type of food is flavonoids, particularly green tea and dark chocolate. We'll be talking about these in a video on anti-inflammatory nutrition, which protects the body. However, you should know that these foods protect the functioning of the arteries, enabling better blood flow to the genitals and thus improving erectile function. These foods should normally be included in a balanced diet 2 or 3 times a week. It is, however, neither the most surprising nor the most effective. Fifth food, fenugreek. This food has long been known for its hormonal effects. Originally, it was used for digestive disorders and to aid digestion. It was also given to breastfeeding women to improve breastfeeding. In fact, it also acts on hormonal functioning. This is why it is used in herbal therapies to compensate for a drop in testosterone. Fenugreek appears to improve libido and erectile function through hormonal stimulation. It can be used as a dietary supplement or as part of herbal therapies, but you can also consume it in your diet, for example, in the form of seeds to add to salads or edible leaves. In any case, keep in mind that fenugreek is beneficial, but beware, it's not a harmless food, as it can't be mixed with other foods. In particular, it should not be mixed with certain medications, such as anticoagulants. It's also not recommended for daily use if you've already had breast, prostate, or other hormone-dependent cancers. Now we come to the sixth, which is, as I said, the most surprising and one of the most effective. This food is none other than onion. Fresh onion juice should be considered a fruit or vegetable. It is not advisable to prepare it the day before and consume it the day after. I don't know if you're aware that fresh onion juice has been tested on animals. Researchers found that animals that consumed it showed more copulation-oriented behavior. Males went to females more often and vice versa, with a desire to reproduce. The quality of their sperm and spermatozoa also improved. Their levels of testosterone, the main hormone responsible for libido, increased, and their erectile function, whether nocturnal, morning, or during intercourse, improved. This is also known to be the case in humans. It is therefore one of the most effective treatments, as serious studies on the subject show. The only problem is that you need to drink between 500 and 750 milliliters of it, 1 or 2 hours before any sexual activity, or daily to stimulate the body. If you're looking for a food that naturally stimulates male erectile function, I recommend fresh onion juice. It's a little known and little used alternative. I hope you enjoyed this video. Before I finish, I'd like to remind you that I've talked about 6 foods for which there is scientific evidence. However, we can only speak of scientific evidence if we eat a balanced and varied diet, rich in vegetables and fruit. There's one fruit we haven't mentioned that improves overall sexual functioning in both men and women. This fruit is available to everyone, the apple. Studies have shown that people who eat them regularly have a more fulfilling sex life than those who don't eat them daily. In any case, remember that there are foods, like the ones I've mentioned today, that can improve erections. You don't have to eat them every day, all the time. You can alternate them. Pomegranate one day, watermelon the next. Pistachios once or twice a week. Fresh onion juice if you feel like it. In short, vary as much as possible. It's by varying that you get the best results, and what's more, the most pleasure. Thank you for hearing me out. Don't forget to leave me a comment to let me know if you knew all these elements. Like, comment, share, keep this channel alive. It's your channel. I'll be talking to you soon about other subjects, not just sexuality, but also health. You can tell me which ones you'd like me to talk about. See you soon and take good care of yourself.